Well, hey everybody, welcome back to It's Only Food with Chef John Politte. Today we're going to be making mushroom Benedict. Cue the music. Well, hey everybody, I am Chef John Politte and you are watching It's Only Food. If this is your first time watching this channel, or if you just want to learn how to continue to make awesome food, or maybe even learn how to start your own cooking channel right here on YouTube, then do yourself a favor and click on that little subscribe button in the corner and then hit that little notification bell to be notified each and every time I upload new content. Alright, well, you tuned in to see me show you how to make mushroom Benedict. So let's head in here, check out our ingredients. We're going to, of course, start out with these mushrooms. We're going to slice these up and saute them. Then I've got these whole grain rounds of bread that we're going to toast up. Of course, our 2 eggs here that we're going to probably cook over easy just for this cook today. And then, of course, I've got the ingredients for the sauce. We've got our beef base, Dijon mustard, flour, and butter. But first we're going to do something we normally never do. We're going to show you the equipment and the pans I'm going to have to use for this today. I've got the pan here that I'm going to saute the mushrooms in, the pan here that we're going to cook the eggs in, our butter pan, you see the butter back there, we're going to melt that and we're going to make our roux in that. And of course this one back here, we've got our water in that we're going to add the beef base and the other ingredients in to make our sauce for this lovely, lovely mushroom Benedict. So let's get into the kitchen and start our prep. Alright, we've got our water. I have got it on high to boil that water up. And then I'll go over here. I've got our butter melting in the pot that we're going to put our flour into to make a nice roux. But let's focus on this pan for this shot right now because this is where the sauce is going to happen. Well, while we're waiting for the water to boil, I'm going to go ahead and chop up all these mushrooms. Yes, they are dirty, but we're going to take them and cut them first and then put them into our colander, strainer, whatever you want to call it, here, and then I'm going to rinse them off really good. It's a lot easier to cut a mushroom up when it is dry rather than when it is wet and it's sliding all over your cutting board. So I'm going to finish doing these and we'll go back to our sauce. Alright, we can see we got our waters boiling. Not quite boiling yet, but it's getting there. But our butter melted first, so I'm going to go ahead and put about a half a cup of the flour in here to about a half a cup of the butter melted to make our roux, and we're going to use this to thicken our sauce. I'm just going to mix this up and let it continue to cook while we move over to our sauce. Alright, we see that our water is a boiling here, so I'm going to take about a tablespoon of this beef base. Depending on how savory or beefy you want this to taste. Remember, this is mushroom Benedict, so it will pair nicely with the mushrooms, with the earthiness of those mushrooms. Now I'm going to turn the heat down just a little bit. Now, what we're making here is basically poor man's Espanol sauce, which is one of the mother sauces, but we're going to take it down another derivative sauce to what we're closely going to resemble is a sauce Robert, I guess, by adding some Dijon mustard. I am not adding wine or lemon juice to this, or onions, which is a true sauce Robert, but this is a derivative sauce from one of the mother sauces, which is a sauce Espanol. But just for making it nice and simple and easy, which is what I try to do on this channel, we're just going to make a quick brown mustard sauce is what I'll call it, but it will go really nice with the mushrooms that we're going to put in this dish. Alright, now I've got the roux here. I'm just going to slowly pour this into our stock here that we've made. Whoa, let this thicken just a little bit. Get this in more in here. So I have not put any measurements in this because I just want you to do this to taste. But add your mustard a little bit at a time to get it to the taste that you want it to be. I don't want it to be really, really mustardy. I want it to be more or less beefy and savory. Make sure you always taste it. That's good. That's got the beefiness and the little bit of mustard in there. A little salt and pepper. And I'm just going to add a little bit more mustard in there. I think some Worcestershire would be good in here too to give it a little bit more savoriness. I'm going to let this continue to get thicker. The important thing is to make your sauce first. You'll see why when we start making this. Once your sauce is done, you can do everything else. You don't want to get your toast down, your eggs cooked, your mushrooms sauteed, and then have to wait for your sauce to put on top. But you'll see why in just a little bit. We're going to continue on with the next step. All right, I got olive oil in this pan here for the mushrooms. Remember, these mushrooms have been rinsed off in this sieve, so we do not want to stand too close to it lest we get splattered by the remaining water. Keep that at a medium heat. We're just going to saute these down to get them nice and soft. These are going nicely. A little salt and pepper in there. You can add garlic to it. You can add anything you want to this. It's your best recipe. I'm just showing you the basics. I am going to add just a little bit of the Worcestershire sauce in here. Okay, these are almost where we want them to be. Nice and tender. I'm going to strain these tubes so we don't get our toast soggy. But see how they shrunk in size a little bit there? Soften them. You can add a little wine to it as well if you'd like. But we don't want to take too much away from the flavor profile. So I'm going to shut these down and we're going to go on to the next step. Get our eggs cooking. Now I debated how I want to do this. Sunny side up, poached, basted. I'm just going to go ahead and do a nice over easy for this. So we'll let these cook. Let's put our toast down. Cooked in olive oil, not butter. I'm sure you'll leave your comments below about that. Flipped them over, shutting off the heat. Toast is up. Let's plate up. All right, first thing we're gonna do is put our bread rounds there, not buttered. And we're gonna take our mushrooms and put them evenly distributed onto the bread rounds, leaving a little nest to actually put the eggs on. Kind of a flat surface there. Next, put your egg right on there. Whoops. Just slid off. There you go. And lastly, just cover this up with that brown sauce. Alright, you know what comes next? We are going to take some lovely pictures of this for social media. Then we're going to put those pictures in the timeline with some groovy music. Then we're going to come back and give it a taste. Alright, well, as you can see, I open that up to get that yolk there. It smells really, really good. The mushrooms look very nice. I can't wait to try it. So we're going to set this camera up on another tripod here and give you the taste test. Alright, well, here it is. That egg is a little overcooked for my taste, but it's still got some soft yolk in there. The mushrooms are cooked perfectly. The gravy looks pretty good, smells pretty good, so let's just give this a try. I get a little bit of everything on this bite. Here we go. That's good. You got the bread underneath it, what gives it a little bit of a crispy bite to it. The mushrooms are sauteed nice and soft. They got a meaty texture to them. The eggs, well, they're eggs. They're going to add flavor and texture to anything you eat. And that sauce over the top, you can just taste that mustard a little bit in there. With, of course, that savoriness of pairs nicely with the mushrooms. Gives it a nice earthy flavor. This is pretty good. Give this a try. A little something different in your breakfast repertoire. All right, well, thanks so much for watching today. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to go down to my description box and check out all those awesome links that I've got down there. I've got one for my seasoning. I have an Etsy store where I sell all my wonderful gourmet seasonings. And then also make sure you stalk me on social media. All those links are also provided down in the description box. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Go ahead and like this video. Leave all your comments right down below. And then make sure you share this video with everybody that you know. Take care, and we'll see you again right here on It's Only Food with Chef John Politte. Bye-bye.